Hey, get in here. Dallas is about to start.
Barbecue podcast, and we have a very special podcast here today. We are talking with David Heynen. Janna TImm will be joining us. David Heynen is the organizer of the Southfork Experience, and joining us for a second time is AC Della Casa. He joined us with Josh Henderson. Mario, you're three more appearances away from joining the Five Timers Club, like Saturday Night Live. You'll get the silk robe, and you'll get to use the VIP lounge. So we are talking all things Southfork Experience here today, and David, how did we come to you? I know Mario has talked in the first podcast with Josh Henderson about how the idea originated. Mario, do you want to recap that very quickly? And then
Josh and I approached Josh and I said, because he was working on his band, and I said, how would you like it if we did a show at Southfork and did a concert and a little meet and greet, And he said he'd love to be able to do it. So I was working it out with Josh in order for us to be able to have this type of an event and have a few guests come as well. But in the background, the Hollywood show was conducting something, and David was conducting something in Orlando, and all these things were happening in the background while I was doing this thing here. And I saw what was happening with the Burbank show when they had this type of reunion going on. And so I said, we need to do this right. And so I contacted David, and I told David, hey, this is being Josh's idea in order for us to be able to do this. And I know that you know what's going on here in Burbank, and I know what you're doing here that you want to be able to do in Orlando. Why don't we do this thing at Southfork? And I have Janna TImm, and I have everybody there at Southfork in order to be able to work with us to be able to do this. And so he didn't really hesitate. He jumped on this in order because he saw that this is going to be bringing something wonderful to the fans. And so he wanted to do this right. And so he jumped on board. We all met at Southfork, and go for it, David. Tell him what your brilliance is on this.
Yeah, I run an event called Fanboy Expo in Knoxville and Orlando, and we've been around since 2012. And we're a pop culture con, Comic Con style of pop culture con. But when I first started Fanboy Expo, I wasn't as excited to get the current Walking Dead people, or at that time, or Arrow or whatever it is that all the Comic Cons were getting. I thought to myself, you know what? I feel like getting some of these nostalgia guests, that's the way to go, because if I walk into a place, I've got some money to spend, being a little bit older. I want to meet Eric Estrada, or I want to meet, whoever. And so we've kind of built on that. And so throughout the years, we've kind of established ourselves as that kind of Hollywood show, or a lot of people compare us to Chiller up in New Jersey. We're that for the whole Southeast, but on a much
larger scale.
Yeah, if there's going to be a throwback kind of a guest, they're probably going to be at Fanboy Expo. So Mario and I know each other from having Barbara out a couple different times at some of the events we've had. So Barbara Eden. And so it was just a natural thing for me to say, yeah, this would be fantastic, especially being able to do it at a place like the Southfork Ranch, not doing it at a convention center or a hotel, doing it actually at the ranch. I just kind of jumped on it, and
being at the Ewing house.
Yeah, and I had already, through Mario and through previous bookings and connections, I already knew how to get to everybody, and met with them at the ranch and started talking with the ranch people, and we just kind of established, okay, this is what we're doing it. Here's the date we can do it, and then we're moving forward with it. So
exactly, and and the turnout on this is going to be phenomenal. I mean, everybody's before the reboot came out, And in 2008, we had that other event that happened at Southfork.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that and how this is going to be different.
Much larger scale, and it's going to be more organized. Okay, it's not like there's no comparison except for the fact as far as there's going to be a Q&A, and there's going to be an auction, and there's going to be the celebrities there, and it's going to have photo ops and all that. It will have that, but it's going to be done with such precision. It's going to be done so nice. It's going to be done categorically nice, organized, where people are going to be able to get it, where people know exactly what it is they're going to be able to get at this particular event. It's going to be a refreshing event for people to want to be able to attend. And and as David said, to me once, that why stop here? If this is something that is going to be something that the fans want, why not continue later on? But let's check out and see how this one's going to do. And but right now the word is getting out there and people are doing it. And really, why stop at Southfork? Why not do a Falcon Crest reunion in Napa at the Falcon Crest? I mean, certain areas for certain shows. Why not do something that we could be able to cater to the pre-marketed fans and that wanted something? So I don't see how this can go wrong. We have a person here in the driver's seat that knows exactly what he's doing on such a scale that nobody else can do it, to where it's really going to be champagne for everybody. It's going to be wonderful. People are going to love this. When the 2008 fiasco happened, because that's what it was, the show didn't come out yet. And then when the show came out and the way it ended abruptly, people wanted more at that time. Excuse me, how are you going to cut this off at this point? And people felt ripped off that the show did not continue, and the reboot did not continue. And so they needed more. So now we're going to be able to give more in our way and being able to have this event. And like I said, David is the number one person to be able to put on this event. He's going to do it perfectly. It's not going to be anything like 2008 at all.
Well, that's a lot to live up to. So that's a whole lot to live up to. Thank you, Mario. I hope that you are correct. No,
you will. I know.
We will run this event like we run our other events. So instead of it being like some kind of a gala or whatever, it's run a little bit more like an autograph show would be run, with the perks of the extra. So the perks are, like the Friday night cocktail party with all of the cast members that are going to be there. Of course, the viewing barbecue that's going to be happening on Saturday night. And then Sunday morning, there's going to be a brunch before we get started with everybody else. And those are events that are based on what VIP level you have, how many of those events you can attend. But somebody that just wants to come and meet the celebrities and get an autograph or get a photo op, they can buy a daily ticket, they can buy a weekend ticket, they can, they can.
And you see, there's also going to be something for everyone to be able to enjoy, a concert. There's going to be certain, I mean, so you have different levels. You have galas, in a sense, because you have the cocktail hour. So you have a different variety of different classes of certain type of thing. It's not just an autograph type of show where you're sitting in there and they're signing autographs and then they're leaving. It's a matter of different things happening throughout the event, to where you have fun, you have interaction, you have rubbing elbows with the stars, you have a concert to go to, you have the event for the auction in order to be able to help the Yellow Rose, which I'm honored to be able to help Cherie Wilson with her charity for the Yellow Rose. I mean, this is something that I think that is just going to be fantastic for every level of person, no matter what ticket they purchase.
There's Janna.
Hello.
Hey, go ahead, Janna.
Janna's back after a little computer issue.
Yeah, a little unplanned break.
We were just moving into the tickets, I guess, the different structures, as Mario had brought up. There's the general weekend pass, Saturday daily pass, Sunday daily pass. Mm-hmm. There is the barbecue pass. There's the concert pass. There's how would someone structure what they're going to do if they get if they buy the general weekend pass? Do they have to buy the barbecue separately, or the?
Yeah, if they bought a general weekend pass, then they would buy the barbecue separately if they wanted to also go to the barbecue. So we have it kind of where you can buy it all together in the VIP, or you can kind of a la carte buy what suits you to be able to do for the weekend. Because there's people that that do not really care about the barbecue. They're there to meet, you know, Patrick or Linda or whoever else, get an autograph and get a photo up and wander around a little bit and go home. We want to be able for them to be able to do that, but we also want to make sure that somebody that is a huge Dallas fan and wants to come in and spend the whole weekend and spend as much time as they can with everybody, we want to give them the opportunity to be able to do that as well. So there's 6 or 7 different levels of access that people can choose from. That is everything from being extremely economical to the top VIP. That is, you get everything.
Everything.
Okay, and so then there's someone might come in just for the barbecue and the concert at night, and pick and choose from that. And
yeah, they would for somebody like that they'd get a daily pass, and then they can add on the barbecue, or they can add on the concert, or they can add on both. They can do however they want to do it. So my recommendation for somebody like that, though, is that they do the lowest level of the VIP that includes the barbecue, so that at least you get all the VIP perks that come with it. So,
and also you're not squandering around wondering how you're going to be able to get into or where you need to be able to buy that extra ticket in order for you to be able to get into that area. So it's better to have everything preset.
For those that don't do it correctly, can they add onto their ticket when they get there on site?
It will depend on where we're at as far as the number of people, because there's not an endless amount of room. Yeah. So
is there a capacity?
There is a capacity, because I really don't want this to be like a cluster where everybody spends the whole time waiting in lines or doing whatever. So we're looking at probably not adding more than about 2,500 people total. Maybe 3,000 if we get to that point. And the only reason is because we don't want to affect somebody's experience because we oversold at the door. So I feel comfortable with the particular space that we have and the number of celebrities that we're going to have. I think that's the number that we need to be at, so that it can maintain its specialness. And if we went above that, it's going to end up being very hard to manage, and we don't want that. We
suggest that they get their tickets as soon as possible, because we're quickly going to approach that number, and so they need to grab their tickets.
Yeah, we definitely want everybody to come in and be able to have their Dallas experience, basically for what they paid for, and we don't want it to be I don't know exactly what happened in 2008, but
to take advantage of the route. And to take advantage of the rate that they got at the hotel, because they have a hotel that's really nice. I mean, you can't even go to a Motel 6 and pay less than what they're going to be doing at the hotel. They have a nice hotel that's allocated. That's close to the event. It is a really nice hotel.
And then what we'll do is
I just booked over the weekend. I believe it was came out to $588.11 for 4 nights.
Yeah, that's not we're going to do that.
And if you're coming with other people, obviously you can split it. I know the others on the podcast, they're going to split the cost, so it ends up dropping per person staying in the room.
Yeah.
So definitely take advantage of the hotel rate, as you were saying. Looking at the VIP packages, did you have anything more to say about the hotels and stuff?
No, well, one thing that I wanted to say is that if this year is as successful as we think it's going to be, then this really is something that we would like to do every year. And when we do that, I've already talked to Southfork about this, we'll add other activities and other events that go along with it to make it an even bigger experience for everybody for the weekend. So like one of the things we talked about for next year was adding like a rodeo to the event, so that there's something else for everybody to kind of hang around and do, so it's really going to be one of those things that the fan base is there and everybody really seems excited about being able to come and do this. And we really want to honor that and make sure that everybody has this event to count on every year if it's possible.
And Mario, you were obviously at 2008, 2018. You were, oh, hi, puppy. And you were at the Hollywood show. Obviously, we both know that the fan base is there. They come in from around the world. And
Everywhere.
I know, obviously, some people coming from across Europe, it's going to might be prohibitively expensive for some of them this year. So if they can't make it this year, then hopefully they can make it next year or in
Right.
subsequent
And
years.
I
That's
can
why
add
I was say. That's why I was inquiring to whether or not you were doing the live feed for people that in England, primarily because people in England, I mean, the huge base that's there is just insane, and for those who can't attend, for them to be able to enjoy as well.
yeah, yeah, Europe is huge. But what I also know is that working at Southfork as long as I did, every summer people come over here from Europe and they're already going to come to Southfork.
Yeah.
So, you'll have some of those people that'll be very excited because they're already here.
I mean, we could not be more blessed with the team that we have right now. Seriously, if you really look at it, if you take a step back and you really look at the team that's involved here in order to be able to pull this together, Janna, for one, the queen is the queen of Southfork, whether she still works there or not. I mean, she is. She knows everything ins and outs. She knows exactly what's needed when it comes down to everything's Dallas and Southfork. And we have her there. We have David. Thank God for David for having done this. We have you with your big mouth and the way you, and then you have your highlight as me. I mean, come on, excuse me. And so we have, but we do have. We have an excellent team put together here, so I don't see how it could be anything less than excellent.
And Janna proved herself well on. I always go back to the Real Housewives of Dallas when they stayed at the ranch, and JR's murder room, as I call it,
Yes.
kind of got damaged, and the way you handled that, top notch. Top notch.
Well, thank you. I think they wanted me to be a little more mad about it, but I just couldn't.
No.
But they were fun. They were a lot. It was a lot of fun. That whole thing was fun.
So, just running through the VIP passes, we have the premium weekend experience, the silver experience, the gold, and then the ultimate, the diamond. So, obviously, and it says on some of them that there might be some TBA. So, talk about the guests. Obviously, the cast. We haven't gotten to that yet. Who is coming, and are there more that haven't been announced that you're working with?
There are. I think we have 6 or 7 announced already. So we have.
I think you have
Linda.
I'll look right now.
Patrick,
Linda, Charlene, Steve, Cherie, and Josh. Is that it so far that we have announced?
Hold on.
I think that's all.
That's going to be 2 Joshes there, so we'll have to wear named.
We have,
but I think there'll be more than that, right?
Yeah, Patrick, Linda, Charlene, Steve, Cherie, Josh, and me. That's it. That's on the site right now. But we don't have. No, there are more that are going to be attending that are not there as of yet.
Yeah, so we probably will have at least 6 more that we'll be adding. And I think that's a pretty good number for everybody. So
for first year.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, Larry Hagman will be there as well.
Yes, I guarantee you that too.
I have no doubt.
All right. Is there anything you want to say about that?
And we got him to go there without a guarantee. I'm telling you, Larry Hagman will be there that night. His spirit will be there. I promise you that.
Oh yes.
Okay. There's no question.
So if expanding to future years, there would be cast members that might not be included this year, might be added next year per se.
Yeah, there definitely could be cast members that would be added. There could also even be potentially down the road celebrities from other shows that we would call like Friends of Dallas kinds of celebrities that would come out and spend the weekend with us, because everybody that's coming is a Dallas fan, but there was a lot of action happening during that late 70s all the way up to the early 90s. There's a lot of shows that were on. There's a lot of celebrities that that would love to come out because they were friends with Larry, or they're related to Linda, or all kinds of different scenarios that we've already explored that we can go to in future years.
Well, that's how Lee Majors ended up on Dallas
Yes.
at one point,
Yeah.
because he was friends with Larry.
Which, by the way, this is for you, Janna. I spoke with Lee 2 days ago.
You
and
did?
I said I did, and I asked him about the legend, and he told me that it's not true. So
Yes, it is.
He told me it's not true, but I will say
Yes, it is.
that he paused and he said, "No, Dave, that's not. No, that didn't happen."
Maybe he's afraid to admit to it.
No, it is.
It's
due to the nature of it or something.
Maybe no. It's absolutely true. And I know, I know we were there. I mean, so yes,
I know a couple of witnesses to it as well.
yeah.
Besides you,
So
Mario.
sorry, Lee. Okay, maybe he just
Well,
doesn't want to have the involvement in it.
I think he
is
didn't want
not
to get in
willing.
trouble with
Yeah, I
it.
know.
You're right.
I know.
He's not willing to admit it. So now we're going to have to say probably what it is.
That's the answer. That's the answer. Okay,
It's
he's
not,
$6 million
it's not officially for public consumption, but privately, whatever is being talked about probably happened.
It happened.
Yes.
It was Larry's wishes.
His $6 million legs were running out of that conversation. No, it didn't happen.
and here comes Lindsay Wagner. Bum, 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 bum.
And so, and it is true that Lindsay is Linda's niece. Just let you know. Yeah.
Oh,
And both Lindsay and Lee are very good friends of the Fanboy Expo show, and so that's a good possibility in the future. Just because we love seeing them, they love coming and hanging out with us. So Lee, every chance I get, I book Lee into something that I'm doing, so that I can spend time with Lee because he's such a great guy. So
he really is.
And Mario, you've seen my album cover. I'm running out of room for signatures on that album cover.
I know.
Oh God, it goes back to 2008. So, is there anything more that we should cover at this point that messages that you want to get out there, and the website?
The only thing I want to add, or maybe David wants to add, and Mario, but they had the event in Burbank. And that one was lots of people, right? You guys, I didn't get to go, but
it was a madhouse of people.
And this is going to be much more of a boutique event where if you come to this event, you're going to get up close and personal in one way or another at something. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. This is, with the amount of space that we have there, that's why I came to that number that I did. But also just being able to experience this at the ranch rather than at a stuffy convention center or a hotel ballroom. Right. It's just it's an amazing thing. And
just the fact of being able to get a tour by one of the cast members of the house, how cool is that?
It's very cool, and getting to hear Josh play.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool too.
Yeah,
that's true. And do I understand, Mary? I know you mentioned it in the last podcast that Charlene's daughter Cherish is gonna.
Yes.
Yeah. She'll be opening up for Josh's band, so she'll be there.
She's amazing. If you don't know, look her up on Instagram. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And Charlene just sent me a link to a performance that Cherish did recently that we're just about to post on our social media as well. So everyone should go over to the website, which is southforkexperience.com.
Southforkexperience.com.
Get your hotel reservations while they can. Looking at the event schedule up there right now, it is still a lot of TBA.
So the event schedule.
Waiting on details.
Yeah, the event schedule, I'll have that nailed down. There's a couple things we're waiting for. One was for who we're having as guests. So it's hard to build the schedule when we don't know exactly who's coming yet,
Right.
because things will change. The other thing is we have to coordinate that with the South Fork staff, because they're the ones that are cooking the food for us and changing out the chairs and doing all that kind of stuff. So all of that will be, I'd say, give us another month so that I know exact times that we're going to do all the things that we're going to do. But that barbecue is probably going to be, we're seating everybody around 6:30 on Saturday night. So
let me ask some questions that some fans would probably ask. If there's going to be 3,000 as your cap, can Southfork accommodate 3,000 parking spaces?
Yes.
Yes.
The short answer is yes.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, we are also going to, and this isn't on the site anywhere, but we're also going to charter a big bus that picks everybody up at the hotel and takes them back to the hotel each day, so that they don't have to worry about getting out there to park, and everybody can have a couple drinks,
a drink or two.
Time. Right.
Oh, yes. J.R. Ewing bourbon.
Right. And then bourbon and brass. And so that's what they say over there. There you go.
Yep.
And another question I'm being posed with. Dallas weather is very skeptical. And in the time frame that we're going to be doing it in late October, it could be a great weather, or it could be thunderstorms and all this sort of thing.
Yeah, you don't know.
What's plan B in regards to if there is outdoor catastrophes going on, with weather? How do we cover that?
That's another reason that you haven't seen the schedule exact times posted yet. So what will happen is we're planning on the barbecue being out on the lawn if the weather prohibits or is good for us. If it prohibits that, then we will move that into the
ballroom?
It's the Oil Baron's ballroom.
Well, no, not the Oil Baron, the other one.
The Lone Star Atrium.
Lone Star Atrium. We'll move it into there. And the way that would work is, because that's the Lone Star Atrium is where the celebrities will be signing, their tables will be signed.
Yes.
So if it looks like it's going to rain, we're going to have to shift things around a little bit and pull all those tables and set the other tables so that we can, so we're going to have to allow for that to happen at some point if we can't do it on the grounds.
Right. And the short answer is, if it rains, they'll have a rain backup plan, and you won't have to be out in the rain.
Exactly. And you won't have to worry about the event, because you're still going to get what was promised to you. Okay, yes. You're still going to get what was promised to you.
Yeah.
And so indoors or outdoors, our word is still our word.
We will make it happen one way or the other. Based on what the weather allows. I mean, and if that means that we'll make it happen. We always have this kind of stuff
it's
happens.
Not something. Yeah, Southfork is used to this. This is something.
There's a tornado. It's every man for himself. Bar. And I want to be like Lee Majors in The Subject running out of there. And so
I know where all the safe areas are.
Right.
And nobody better end up in the pool.
That's right. That's right.
Someone always does, but
if there's anybody in the pool, it'll be me face down, and you'll know that the day is not going well.
Will you be dressed like?
It's just
he'll be dressed like Kristen Shepherd.
It's a prop. Don't worry about it.
But which is interesting. So Raul and Teresa will not have to clean the.
Cool. I love it. But no, I wanted to get those questions out because they're valid questions that people were going to ask. And and I didn't want to say anything about the bus or anything because I wasn't sure what was happening with that. And so
and the name of the hotel is for everyone's
Renaissance
reference.
in Richardson, Texas.
Now, if that place gets booked, which I'm sure it's going to, and so if that thing gets, is there another hotel that other hotels close by that they can do a search for?
There are, and I'm working with David to get one in Plano because they're doing a lot of promotional work. So I thought that would be good.
And that one in
Richardson and Plano are right next to each other. So
and the one in the one in Richardson is the closest full-service hotel to the ranch. So,
and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it looks
great.
beautiful
It's a
on the
great
website.
hotel.
It's a lovely property,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
beautiful.
run very well.
And my little artifact from 2008, I have Deborah Shelton's key to the city because she
cool.
never came to the event.
Oh.
That was sitting in the drawer at Southfork in 2013 when I was there, when they were filming
Cool.
JR's funeral. And they said, "We've had this. Do you want it?" And I'm like, "Okay."
I'll take it.
Well, I didn't know about that, but okay.
I know. He stole it,
Nobody
Jan.
ever asked me
He
anything.
stole it. You knew it was in
No
the
one ever
drawer.
tells me
He
anything.
stole it. And so, yeah.
Somebody said, "We've had it sitting here for 5 years. Do you want it?" I'm like,
That's
"Well, if it's been sitting there, then sure, I'll take it."
You know, I got a lot of people were asking me, "How did you get the video of this?" I made this video for the Dallas Experience about what it's going to be like and
It's a
everything.
great video.
Thank you. Everybody's like, "Well, how did you get that video if you haven't done the event yet?" I'm like, "Oh God!" I went into the future and did it, you know. And so I said, "Well, this is just an example of what you're going to be able to get, you know." But
Did that pull from the video that was released from 2008? Some of that stuff?
plus mine. I had many videos that we did, and so I have all the raw footage as well, and so I used all that to create mine.
And I still have all my raw footage from 2008, and
Sweet.
Somebody else gave me all their raw footage from 2008 too. So I have that as well.
I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait to make a video of our upcoming event because I know it's going to be phenomenal. I just, I see it. I mean, even when I started Genie Bottles, when I was 18 years old, I started this thing, and for me, everybody's like, "Oh, nobody's going to want a Genie Bottle. Nobody's going to want that." I always saw the end result first. And I knew that I was going to be a success in this. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew I was going to be at home working in my underwear painting in order for me to be able to do it, that I wasn't going to have a 9 to 5, that I was going to do what it is that I wanted to do in my life. And so that was something that was blessed for me. So I was always able to see something or have the idea in order for, and see that end result. And like I said, really, I know I keep saying it, but it can't be said enough. With David and Janna and you there, it is a total blessing. I have every faith. We're just props, as far as us doing what we need to be able to do. But the people that are in control that is going to handle this event, I'm telling you, it couldn't be more blessed and it couldn't be more professional. It's going to be wonderful. And I'm so looking forward to that when it happens. I'm going to cry when it ends.
I know. I am
those
too.
are high props, David.
I know. Lots to live up to there.
And Mario, we'll have you back at some point because we'd really like to hear more about your background and how you got where you are and that sort of thing.
I have to tell you how I climbed Larry Hagman's fence in order for him to get his endorsement. That was real fun.
That's a good story, I'm sure.
It's fun. But for the event, I'm going to wear this shirt here so everybody knows.
I want to wear a cowboy hat, but this is appropriate here. The podcast hat and podcast shirt too as well.
There you
so
go.
I gotta incorporate
Just bring your cowboy hat. You never know.
Right.
There's Jock Ewing.
There's Jock.
Any last messages that you want to get out before we?
I just want to say that I'm really happy that we're going to continue this event, do this event at all, because the legacy of Southfork, and you all know this, but what it has meant to people in their lives, it's hard to even explain. I've seen many people cry coming into Southfork because they got to be there. From a lot of Europeans feel that way, but it really impacted people, and it is truly a legacy and a legend to be treasured. It really is, not just by Texas or Dallas or Parker, but by everybody.
Southfork should have been made a landmark a long time ago, which I was shocked they haven't. But
I think they're working. Well, it's being worked on. Maybe.
Yeah. We'll make it happen. Don't worry about that.
We'll talk later.
And I know I speak for Mary, Sarah, and Melanie, who couldn't join us today. When we went in to get our photograph with those 25 cast members, even though there was also 3 other people that appeared on Dallas were in the building as well. They all applauded and cheered the podcast crew, and we were just like, what did we do to deserve that? It was just, you have Priscilla Presley and Patrick Duffy and Larry, and not Larry Hagman.
If it
He's up
wasn't,
there.
if it wasn't for you, who would have known about it? Really? I mean, you have the ear of the South Fork fans and the Dallas fans. You have their ear. And they trust what you have to be able to say. Who would have showed up? I mean, a lot less people would have shown up. Okay, and so really, there was an event in Palm Springs that they had some cast members out there that they did at Oscars over there, and there were 3 or 4 cast members that were just sitting in the audience that they didn't even have on stage. That some of them didn't even know that they were there. They were even a part of it. They were just sat there, and
Michael Priest, the director,
exactly. And I'm sure he had something to say. And so
Kathy Podwell.
And so, like I said, this particular event is going to showcase the people that need to be heard, and the stories, because everybody has a different story.
So,
but they all get along, and they all really are a family. And that's really cool.
Even cast members that did not act with each other. I had Melody Anderson, who played Linda Farlow in one episode. She came on last week, and we talked about her work as an addiction counselor, and she may be coming on a monthly basis to talk about a different topic. And I'm going to have her psychoanalyze from a therapist perspective a different Dallas cast, a different character on Dallas.
I think that's so cool. I love that.
And she never acted with certain other people, but there she was with Jack Scalia. And they just, Omri Katz had never met Josh Henderson, and Josh Henderson's a huge Hocus Pocus fan, and didn't realize that they were playing the same person. And
I'm going to be meeting actually in August. I'm going to be seeing Brad Pitt, and so I'm going to say, hey, since you started your career on Dallas, what about coming to this event? And so I'm going to see what he has to say, because he started. If it wasn't for Dallas, he wouldn't have got his career started.
That's true.
So I'd love to be able to have.
David's going to put him on the list for now.
And put him on the list. Yeah.
So David, do you have any last thoughts?
Sign him up.
I just say that we are honored to be able to do this. I have not really dealt with a better fan base than the Dallas fans. They have been incredible, and it's only been, we've only had the site up for a month or so, and they're so gracious and they're so sweet, and everybody's so excited, and it's like honey to my soul to be able to provide this for people that are that excited for their franchise. So and Mary, who edits the podcast and was one of the 4 co-hosts, although now we've added Brad Mulholland as another male voice, so when someone can't, he'll jump in. But she's done the Twin Peaks Festival up in Washington State every year, so she has experience in these smaller boutique style events. If anyone has any questions or anything, or just needs any, she's always available as well to jump in.
Thank you for having us today.
Yeah.
This is going to be posted, so and I'm sure you're all going to share it when it gets posted. I'm
blocking you as soon as we hang up.
Well, fine.
Hey, can we share it before it's posted, or do you prefer no?
Mary's going to put the opening on, just touch some things up, and then she'll let us. I'll have her tell us when we're going to post it, and then she's going to try to get it up very quickly.
Okay.
And we still have the one with Mario and Josh Henderson.
Yeah, that's a great one. I'm going to post that one today.
If everyone can keep sharing these and posting them everywhere, we'll get the word out there. We'll meet our 3,000 people quota and
easy
make this happen every year.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning into this special Southfork Experience edition of the Ewing Barbecue Podcast. Look for us on our social medias. Southfork Experience has their website. They are on Facebook and they are on Instagram as well. Just keep looking for them. You can just do a search in Instagram
and keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out for more announcements, because we've got more announcements coming.
More cast members.
More announcements
cast
for
members.
more everything. More everything. More all the to be announced will be that is on the website will be announced.
And to narrow it down, they are male and female cast members.
Male and female cast members. Yes.
We won't spill the beans yet, because in true Dallas fashion, we need to leave you with a cliffhanger.
There you go.
That's right.
That's right.
So, but nobody's getting shot. So
Yet.
And tune in this during the summer. We are going to continue to have some of these cast members possibly turn up on the podcast to talk about the upcoming event.
I know Cherie's looking forward to it.
We have Cherie coming on.
Yeah.
She'll talk about the Yellow Rose Foundation and MS research, which is very important in today's world. And I believe we might be having Charlene Tilton and her daughter Cherish come on at some point as well. So, and beyond that, any one of you want us to come back as we get closer and just update people, we'll be glad to have you back on and keep the publicity going.
All
out
right.
there.
Great.
I love it.
Sounds
I love
great.
y'all. Thank you.
Y'all come
Thank you so
back
much.
now, you hear?
Yeah.
All right.
Happy trails.
Yes.